So you can start talking. You can start.
All right. So welcome everyone for joining this webinar. So I understood the microphone, camera work. So if that's not the case, if you cannot hear me or see the screen, please write it down in the chat, and then my colleagues will get in touch with you. So again, thanks for joining, and I thought just to quickly introduce myself. So my name is Twan. I joined Label None as the managing director, and our company is basically a marketing agency for other marketing agencies. So we help our customers with marketing consultancy, and we help them with providing all sorts of aspects of marketing, such as SEA and SEO, of which, of course, AI is a very important component. So therefore we decided to host this webinar. So basically you can see we reserved 30 minutes for the presentations and then 15 minutes Q&A. So we would like to ask you to list your questions in the chat. And then at the end of the presentation, we will reserve the time to go over them. So let's get started. So basically, we're going to start with providing an overview, and then specifically the impact on marketing agencies. We'll also go over the prompt formulation, how to leverage it to its full potential, but then like more specific for SEO, content creation, additional support. Also, we'll go over the limitations, conclusion, and we wrap it off with the Q&A. So basically, ChatGPT has taken control of the worldwide newsfeed lately, with the main focus on its impact on businesses and people. But before we start with the more complex topics, let's begin with the basics of what the platform is and why everyone is talking about it. So like in all good stories, let's start at the beginning. OpenAI is a company founded in 2015, dedicated to developing and applying artificial intelligence, basically to benefit humanity. So since its inception, the company has released various software, including ChatGPT, which is like a generative language model capable of processing large amounts of text and learning to generate like human-like text. So this tool is specifically designed to support conversational modeling, allowing us to generate more coherent responses and to be relevant to the context of like a conversation. So it remembers discussion threads using previous questions and answers to formulate its response. So last year, November the 3rd, will really go down in AI history. Even though using this platform sounds very simple, like everyone in the AI world, or let's take it a bit further, the general public is amazed by the results, right? And the reason for this is that it displays a broad range of capabilities for different subjects. So to put it into perspective, here we have a list of some of the leading industry companies and how long it took them to reach 1 million users. So Netflix at the top, it took them 3.5 years. Then Twitter, basically 2 years ago, and Facebook 10 months. So the fact that ChatGPT has acquired so many users, 1 million users in just 5 days, is just incredible. So this explosion of interest, like it has received, like basically divided the population with different opinions. Some believe that it has the potential to kill Google and revolutionize the world, while others believe that, basically it is not only wrong, but also dangerous, leaving us thinking how much of this is a hype or real. So even though the tool is emerging and solid results and feedback are just being collected, in my opinion, we can already observe that it's extremely groundbreaking. So it is worth mentioning that ChatGPT is not only the most advanced AI model developed, but it is the most user friendly. Um, so what creates excitement around this platform? It's not just available. Yeah, it's basically available to try for everyone. So making many users experience its capabilities by themselves. However, when categorizing this platform as an evolution or let's say revolution, what many don't realize is that in terms of the underlying techniques, ChatGPT is not particularly innovative uh, compared to other AI initiatives and other systems that have been built in the past because they have a more in-depth background, let's say. So that makes it actually the most user-friendly tool, but not necessarily. So after getting to know the tool inside out, it's time to discuss what really matters to us. And that is what's the actual impact of this tool to the marketing industry? And how does it involve us as marketeers? So let's kick off this section with a study that investigated the general sentiment towards ChatGPT within the realms of like SEO, PPC, and digital marketing. So basically, a marketing agency in the US called the Digital Third Coast, they conducted a study which revealed that approx like 350 posts, like more than half of them were positive, like about 23% were neutral, and also about 24% were negative. So as you can see, the feelings, like the general thoughts and opinions, is quite mixed. But what does this bring to marketing agencies? So as a result of rapid advancements in AI, everything we know about communications, creativity, and strategy will be redefined and reimagined in the years to come. So yeah, regarding the advantages, let's state the most obvious one, and that is increased efficiency. So as a language model, it can be used to automate a wide range of marketing processes, let's say from content creation to customer service. So many repetitive and time-consuming tasks can be delegated to this platform, freeing the time of marketeers to reallocate the resources like to other activities, let's say higher value activities. So the implementation of the tool will make marketing agencies like completely, you can say, reorganize themselves in terms of resources and its responsibilities. So while some new roles and opportunities may be created in the AI and automation space, the transition may be difficult for some workers, and it will require reskilling and training. So in this situation, I always like to refer back to the quote, ChatGPT replaces jobs to be done, but not necessarily the jobs itself. So what that means is that we need to think of it as a tool that allows us to enhance our performance and efficiency, but not necessarily all the work behind it. So that concerns that the platform can put some people out of their jobs, current jobs. That's a valid statement, because some of the functions, let's say, have a higher risk of replacement. Nevertheless, the platform also provides opportunities for new job creations. So yeah, I will assume that many of us already played around with it, right? But I bet not everyone knows how to unleash its full potential. So I read something the other day that said ChatGPT is only intelligent as the prompts you insert. So, and that made me think about the correct use of this platform. So in this slide, I'm going to give you a couple of examples of what a poor prompt would be compared to what is one that will give you actually good and valuable results. So the first one, As you can see, this prompt doesn't give the platform any context or additional information regarding the company. So the answer that the tool will generate is very generic. However, if you look at what happens, what we include when we include more details in our prompts. So the next one, I would say this is more like an average, because the results are much better compared to the previous one. It correlates more with the objective. But yeah, what makes the tool so exceptional is the ability to take the results to your liking by adding prompts until you achieve what you're looking for. So this excellent prompt, what makes it excellent, I will discuss in a bit. But basically, there's a quote about the tool that is like that one of the most important things to consider is what information you put into the system. It doesn't know, like the tool doesn't know anything about you or the current, let's say, ecosystem. So you have to layer information and you have to enter subjects that matters to the results that you eventually want to get out of it. So the first thing you do is basically, the first thing you do to ensure an excellent answer is to be very specific. Provide as much detail and context as possible, including specific keywords or phrases related to your services. So I actually recommend to use certain frameworks and models in your prompting, because this will help the platform to better understand what you're looking for. And then it will generate a much more accurate and relevant response. So yeah, try to avoid using, let's say, industry specific language, because it may not be familiar with that. So instead, I recommend use plain language, easy language, plain language that is for the tool to understand, basically. And lastly, what I recommend is to experiment with different prompts, like providing different phrases to see what works best for your needs, refine them, and then over time, you will learn as well what will generate the best result. So for this section, we'll dive deep into the SEO. We'll start with the implementation of ChatGPT for SEO. So here we'll also review the do's and the don'ts, as we believe that knowing its limitations will better understand the use of these solutions properly. So the first significant weakness we advise you to not do is using this platform to create like a long form, because AI-driven content, to boost your organic ranking. So many professionals are already commenting on how this can damage your effects in the long run. So we recommend you not to do this. Another big don't of ChatGPT is fact-checking, because one of the limitations in regard of is that the platform cannot scrape data from a page. So basically, it cannot do audits. But the beauty behind SEO is understanding what people are searching for and identifying the potential content topics to create material that is more likely to be found by the right people. So to execute this task, the SEO specialists have at their disposal like traditional tools which they can access to large databases. So while this process can be difficult and time consuming, the tool, the ChatGPT users basically can quickly narrow down large lists of potential keywords into a more, let's say, manageable list, and also organize them to create topic clusters for your SEO content strategy. So another possible application that it offers is the possibility of generating meta titles and meta descriptions for provided keywords, as can be seen in the screenshots here on the right. So our team, the Label None team of SEO specialists, we asked them to provide tips and tricks, and basically, to give you some insights on how marketing agencies can leverage these tools. So from our day-to-day activities, we found that these prompts work best for us. One is like classify a list of keywords based on the search intent. And another one is cluster the following keywords into groups based on their semantic relevance. So, most experts believe that ChatGPT will have the most significant impact on content creation. And as a marketing agencies, continue to look for ways to create engaging and high quality content that resonates with the target audience. ChatGPT basically, it can be a precious tool to add to their arsenal. Because since it launched, marketers have seen a range of opportunities to quickly generate content briefs, outlines, and complex articles. So while it can write full blogs, which can be cost effective, the results can sometimes be unreliable, as the platform is not able to review its sources. So for this specific reason, one practical use of ChatGPT for marketing agencies and the experts is to ask if it can provide you with blog ideas about, let's say, a particular topic, and for it to elaborate on that by creating like a blog skeleton. So as you can see from these, based on the pieces of information given, you can build up your content, ensuring that the information you provide is actually trustworthy. And results generated by this platform may not always be factual correct or unique. They cannot grasp like human emotion or experience. So basically what we're trying to say here is that in the end, it is up to the writer, the copywriter, to ensure that the content is well researched. Not only well researched, but also well written, and that it actually adds value to the audience. So next up is basically, that the power of ChatGPT in content creation doesn't end there. Because apart from writing blogs, the tool has demonstrated to be of great value when writing ad copy, but also social media posts, and to describe the product descriptions. So when utilizing these correct prompts and by giving it detailed context, the platform is able to generate high-end content. But as we said earlier, the writer is the only one, is the one with the responsibility to check if the content is correct. So speaking from our experience, from the team at Label None, the prompts that we use the most are, I'll give you a couple of examples, are rephrase the following copy in 3 different ways to avoid repetition while keeping its meaning. So the keywords here are to avoid repetition while keeping its meaning. And this particularly, this works well for us as the platform, provides us different versions to experiment with and to get inspiration from. The next one is basically act as a social media marketing copywriter. So here we specifically give it a role, because as we mentioned, like, we need to give the platform all the additional context you can. So if you assign the tool a role, basically you give it situational context that can improve the retrieved results. And the last example here, what I'd like to give you is, like, amongst the blogs in the industry of, let's say, whatever you're looking into, industry, for example, what are the most popular topics? And I think this prompt is specifically powerful because when it comes to identifying trending topics and meeting the needs of your audience, comes back to it. So remember, the platform can recall past conversations, and you can continue adding on prompts until you receive your ideal answer. Yeah, so there has been much speculation around ChatGPT possibly replacing Google, right? And while the current answer is no, people are utilizing it as a new search engine. So as the platform provides you with a precise answer you're looking for, instead of like searching through different websites, yeah, you can conclude that it has gained lots of popularity in the public's eye. So yeah, the possibilities to generate questions and get quick answers are extensive. But we want to show you just a tip of true potential. So when planning for this webinar, the first step was to do some research, right? So what else than asking our friend of advice? So in this case, our first question was to create a live event on LinkedIn. So even though the platform provided concise answers and additional prompting was required, a general overview of the steps was given, as you can see. So what I like about this answer is the additional notes they include about how to deliver a successful event. And the next step is identifying the correct time to host the webinar. So here we try to be more specific, including the webinar topic and the time zone we aimed for. So as you can see, the answers given were more in depth to the level that it like accurately mentioned the specific time to host the event. And of course, that's exactly what we did. So last but not least, we wanted to see if ChatGPT could help us like knowing who would be interested in this event. So this list created was helpful when adding ads to promote it, as it included like some specific job positions of people that would be interested in attending. And then, yes, later when we saw the list of attendees, so we saw that it really matches with what we were aiming for. So that was great. So once again, the additional comments mentioning other ways to promote the webinar was my favorite part, because it totally hit the nail. So yeah, I was amazed by these answers, which showed you that the more information you provide, really the more relevant it becomes. So while the platform, this is an important topic to cover. While the platform has many applications and can support the humans by automating many tasks, some experts have questions about its potential to create like harmful biases and misinformation. So while the tool can be really valuable for generating content, it's important to keep in mind that not all the AI-generated content may meet Google's webmaster, like the guidelines. Because the guidelines, they emphasize the importance of creating AI be careful with that, because it's really important to create a high quality content that is unique and relevant, that also at the end really adds value to the user. So this means that the content should be created by humans as well, with the expertise on a certain matter. So rather than AI generated content and models, because they may not be fully understanding the text of or like an intent of the content. So if the content on a website is found to be violating these standards, it may be penalized in search rankings, which can actually then ultimately have a negative impact on the website's visibility and traffic. So the key is to ensure that any AI generated content is evaluated and reviewed by human editors to ensure that it meets the guidelines of Google for like quality content. So yeah, another limitation of ChatGPT is that it can also generate content that is like misleading, inaccurate, and outdated. So it's important for marketing agencies to carefully evaluate the ethical implications of using the platform and ensure that any content generated by the language model is in line with the values and ethical standards. Because this may involve like setting guidelines for the use of AI generated content and conducting human reviews to ensure accuracy, but also like appropriateness of the content. And in addition, I must not be the only one frustrated when I see that the tool is at its capacity right now. So since ChatGPT is a powerful language model that requires significant computing resources, it can sometimes be difficult to scale up to meet the demands of a large number of requests. So this can result in delays of long response times. So yeah, that can disappoint users and reduce the effectiveness of the platform. So to wrap it up, to finish this webinar, let's reflect on the quote, like even in autopilot, there is an actual pilot. ChatGPT is about enhancing the human performance. And for marketeers, it's very promising to assist in several marketing functions that will enhance the overall performance of a marketing agency. But while this tool, offers a range of possibilities to support the professionals by automating repetitive and time-consuming tasks, it is unlikely that it will like completely replace the key marketing roles. It's more likely to change them. So as the platform follows patterns from existing text, the result it provides may lack like originality and even strategic thinking that humans are capable of. So yeah, marketing professionals, they have decision-making abilities that the tool simply cannot replicate yet. So even though there are certainly concerns about the impact on society, the benefits cannot be ignored simply. So we've come to an end, and as I said in the beginning, it will take around 30 minutes, and now we're going to the Q&A. So for that, I'd like to introduce my colleagues. One of them is Petri. He's an SEO and PPC specialist at Label None, as well as Paula, who is more specialized in content creation and social ads. So they're going to be answering the Q&A. Thank you very much for your time. And at the end of basically, if certain questions are not answered or there's no time for my colleagues right now, just feel free to reach out to me, and then I'll be in touch with you, and then I can have a chat with you to discuss the question that you have. Thank you very much.
So as Twan introduced, I'm Petri, and I'm happy to answer any questions. And I already saw a really good question in the chat coming in from Frank, which is an interesting question itself, of course. Like, will authorship become a new value itself, written by, curated by, versus also prompted by? I would say this is a difficult question to answer, but I can say that the authorship as traditionally defined may not be directly applicable, of course, to AI-generated content, including the fact that ChatGPT generates the text. And this is because the text generated by AI models like ChatGPT is based on training data and prompts provided to the model, rather than the creative inputs of an individual author. However, I do say that it's still important to consider the roles of the curator and the prompter. When evaluating the content and the value of the content provided by AI, the curator, of course, is responsible for curating and training the data that the AI model uses to generate the content, and for ensuring that the generated content is accurate and relevant. The prompt, on the other hand, provides the initial prompt that the model uses to generate text, and the quality of the prompt can impact the quality of the generated text. So therefore, I would say in summary, well, Autoshop may not be relevant concept when discussing AI generated text. The roles, however, of the creator and prompter are still really important to consider when evaluating the quality and the value of the content. So terms like curated by and generated by may be more appropriate to describe the origin of AI generated text and understanding the roles of course, the creator and prompter. So I hope I answer your question in this way, Frank. Let me see if there are any more questions coming in. If content can be detected by Google, how can we use it for SEO/ads? That's a really good question. Well, like Twan also mentioned itself, long form content. So all the content written by AI itself, of course, contains since 2023 a watermark. So which means that everything will be detected by Google. So how can you use then content to actually implement it, let's say for SEO, and you want to optimize on-page content, or you are going to work on content creation, which you can use ChatGPT for. You can ask them to provide an outline of a blog structure, regarding the structure of the blog itself. What would you like to see in the blog? The general topic. It can also provide headlines itself, and based on the headlines, you can create a prompt which will structure the whole blog. In this way, at the end, it will help you writing the blog itself, but it will not be written by AI. So you are at the end the author of the blog, which will not be detectable by Google. Another question coming in from Harvey: what prompt would you use to expand short form articles to long form articles, for example? Here is an AI generated article. Could ChatGPT use it as a framework to expand it? Well, there are the multiple prompts to actually answer that question. What I would say is that you can feed actually the blog to ChatGPT, so it's within the system of the AI. And what you can then use, you can just usually simply provide it with a new prompt to elaborate on certain topics within the blog, or maybe add a conclusion from the blog as well. Or you can even say, add a new chapter regarding this and this, and it will basically add just a new chapter. And because you already fed the initial blog, it knows that it doesn't have to repeat some topics that are already mentioned, so it will come up with some new content as well. And if not, then it's also a part of a trial and error. And then a new question. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm now seeing exactly the prompt he's using. I hope this answers your question as well, Harvey. I hope I was clear with you. If you have any more questions, just feel free to ask. And this session will also be recorded, so you can watch it back as well. And then Paula is going to take over from here.
Yes, I have a question from someone that wasn't able to join to today's session. So Annie was asking, how does ChatGPT compare to other AI-powered marketing tools, such as chatbots and virtual assistants? So as Twan said before, ChatGPT is designed to understand the context of a conversation and respond in a conversational tone. So chatbots typically rely on predefined scripts to respond to customers' queries. So as they rely on these rules to give answers, chatbots struggle to handle more complex conversations. So then we also have virtual assistants like Alexa that helps users find information through voice commands. So in comparison with these two, ChatGPT is a better fit for agencies looking to provide a personalized and natural customer interaction. And yeah, so basically chatbots and virtual assistants are more appropriate for handling repetitive queries rather than looking for that personalized connection that ChatGPT provides. So that would be the question that I have. I don't know if Petri, there was someone else that gave you some questions?
Yeah, that's really good. I'm seeing it just coming in from Sam. And he's asking, for using ChatGPT to create a wider website content, not just a blog, would you still use the same method as when creating a blog? I would say that you mean regarding on-page optimization. So also creating more for the landing page. If that's the sense, yeah, I would use, and our life, of course, the prompt will be different. What you could do, you could take your website, you provide the initial introduction to ChatGPT. Your website talks about the landing page itself, what the objective of the landing page is. Is it to convert? Then, of course, the text also has to be adjusted to convert the people to the landing page. And what you could also do, you could also, like previously mentioned, you could provide ChatGPT, which is of course written by yourself, that has the same tone of voice as your whole website. So the content for the landing page will have the same tone of voice and structure. Of course, you should not copy and paste the input from ChatGPT because how this will be flagged by Google. What you should do, you should rewrite it, but have the same structure. And then you can always add your own aspects and your own added value on it as well. I hope this answers your question, Sam. If not, feel free to ask any question.
I just wanted to comment on that. So yes, basically ChatGPT, you need to use it more like to brainstorm, to get ideas, not to copy paste the information straight to your website. So I feel like you need to use it more to, as Twan said before, so to get what ideas you can use for the content, or to create a skeleton of the blog, how it would look like, but not to copy paste directly. Is there any more questions now?
Is a new question from John. Okay. So, coming back to the written by and authorship comments, who owns IP generated to ChatGPT? For example, a person asks ChatGPT to create a marketing slogan, which they then want to roll out and trademark. Well, all content written by ChatGPT, of course, is coming from ChatGPT. It's flagged with a watermark, so it's AI content. However, if you take the same content and you rewrite it, change a few things, then you're free to also just use it as your trademark as well. Also depending, of course, what the current situation is regarding that topic. But that's a good question, and I really think that you could use it like this as well. Frank, let's say, thank you guys for making it. Where's Frank? Any more questions regarding ChatGPT, or if you have no questions right now, you can always send us an email, or we are free to answer all your questions and tell you how you can optimize your marketing agency using ChatGPT.
So anything?
All right, so no more questions coming in. I'd like to highlight one nice comment that I saw in the chat. So yeah, very, very glad to read this, obviously. Yeah, we also want to provide you as much value as we can. So we'll also share this webinar, the recording. We have recorded it, so we'll be reaching out to you to share the link with you. Once again, thank you very much for your time, and yeah, let's stay in touch. You can connect to me on LinkedIn if we are connected already. Be glad to catch up after this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.